All right, folks, welcome back. Day 2 here at the Counter-Strike Global Offensive, America's Minor Championship. Whew, that's a lot to say. I'm Sir Scoots. This time, we've grabbed a guy with a full set of hair to join us again. Blue, welcome back to the desk.
Thanks, man. It's good to be here with my full head of hair.
Nice to have you.
It's good to have a full head of hair, yeah.
Nice to have you
Give
here.
it a few years, brother. Give it a few years.
We've swapped you out. Moses is actually gonna cast this match with Vansili, and we got a barn burner. Still in the best of one mode, folks, which is gonna be crazy for these two teams. OpTic Gaming, Conquest, taking on the newly cemented, all moved to Chicago boot camp and Winterfox.
Yeah.
And this is going to be the interesting one too, just because the way we got two groups but three teams that potentially are looking at the top 3 spots for this event. So obviously one of them was going to have to end up being in the group with OpTic, and now Winterfox has that, and this is their first chance to try and take them down and show that maybe OpTic isn't such a great team that everybody has been hyping them up for recently.
Yeah, I mean, whether or not they can do that, it's like I'm so torn on it. I'm so torn on it because the idea of kind of giving credit to Winterfox, I've never had to do it before. So now it's like with the boot camp that's coming in, with this new lineup that's a bit more stable and put together, all of that kind of investment of time and resources. This is when they've got to make a real statement. And you know what? I by all means, you know, if you lose to OpTic but you make it competitive in a best of one, that's actually good going forward for the tournament. But if they get blown out by OpTic, I think it's the same old, same old. So this is a super important game within the context of this tournament.
And I think that's the big thing too, is just showing Winterfox that they are able to compete at that top tier. You would like to qualify them up there, but at LANs more recently, the bigger LAN they played at, which was that RGN Cup quite a few months ago, they struggled even against like sort of pug teams that were getting thrown together. They almost lost quite a few matches to the team that Steel had thrown together. That was the first LAN that Stewie 2K played on there, and they almost lost. I think it was a map, it was like 16-13, 16-14, right around there.
Let's not say Steel's throwing together teams. Let's not do that, right?
That good. And again, we've talked a lot about the old Winterfox, and again, like last year, a lot of us were very excited. Okay, Europeans coming to help North American players in a team, and that's maybe exactly what we need over here, is to get a little international diversity in our own rosters. They never really gelled. They never really worked out. They had to play a lot of matches with the European guys in Europe, which obviously ping-wise, server-wise was a nightmare. And now they've added Desi and Flowsick, right? And they're all together. They're all one big happy team. But again, I talked about earlier in the show about the pressure they're on. Not only is their boss man here from Winterfox, but their main Steel Series guy who does a lot of traveling with Steel Series sponsored teams, Travis, is here from Chicago. And that's also the guy in their office at Steel Series. So again, a lot of being invested into this roster. And how many shots do you get in this day and age of Counter-Strike Go, right?
Well, clearly you don't get a lot. And I think what's really interesting to sort of note here is I think the problem with Winterfox hasn't necessarily been the blend of talent. I think they've actually had some good players come through this revolving door that they've had the last 6 months. The problem has always been the balance of personalities. They've had people who want to lead. You know, for example, when Devilwalk was there, I know he wanted to sort of be the in-game leader and be in charge of things, but the team kind of were a little bit resistant to some of the ideas he wanted to implement. That was an ongoing problem within the team, and you know, there was a lot of talk like his exit wasn't exactly, you know, let's say, you know, it's a bit of an acrimonious split, I think it's fair to say, behind closed doors. And now they've brought in, you know, guys like Desi who they got a reputation, you know, for being a bit of a hothead sometimes when things aren't going their way. So I still think this team can be tilt central, and that's what I'm really interested in seeing.
And again, the veto process has started. Again, to bring you up to speed, if you're just tuning in for the first time, the teams will each ban 2 maps. So as you can see, we've gotten rid of Dust 2, Cobble, Cache, and Train. Last 3 maps go into a randomizer, and that gives us, yet again, Overpass. It used to be the randomizer of Cobble. Now, today, it's the randomizer of Overpass.
This is a rough one for Winterfox, that they've had to go on to this one. We look back at the relegation match for the ESL ESA Pro League. They almost ended up losing this one to, it was Denial at the time.
Weren't they like 11 down or something?
Yeah,
Crazy?
it was. They had a miraculous comeback, and that was at the hands of a single player, XP3 on that map. So him versus Shazam is going to be a big factor on this map. We see XP3 go crazy again, but OpTic as well in the last season of leagues. This map was responsible for some of their biggest upsets at all, and was responsible for actually probably getting them to quite a few of those league lands.
Yeah, and you know, I agree. This is like a nightmarish situation for Winterfox. I don't think OpTic are going to mind playing this quite so much as them. I mean, look, let's be real. No North American team enjoys Overpass. They haven't added it to the repertoire yet. They've got to catch up on the customs. That's one of the areas Europe's kicking their ass in. But I definitely think Winterfox are going to get triggered by this. You know, you almost go out of a league to really poor opposition by your standards, by your reputation on this map. You have to do this miraculous comeback. XP3 will probably never have a performance as good as that ever again, I don't think. It was absolute god tier. So yeah, this is this is bad. This is bad for Winterfox, I think.
But without the ability to do a pick, and if the only tool in your bag is banning, it does make sense, especially with that cobble ban, because of what
they gotta
because Vegas, the E-League.
Yep, they gotta take cobble away from OpTic. I respect that, but I don't know. I might have been inclined to ban Overpass. What do you reckon, Blue?
Yeah, I mean, overall.
Instead of Train?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say so. It's still, I mean, Train's still going to be a very rough map for Winterfox. The thing about Winterfox is they're still working on congealing these strategies, and I don't think they've had many opportunities to solidify what they want to bring to the table as of yet in actual competition. Sure, they've had plenty of times to try it out in scrims and whatnot, but like actually taking it to a tournament and seeing how it works, there really hasn't been a lot of chances for Winterfox to do that yet. So let's get rid of Train, a very tactical heavy map that I don't think they're going to be very good on. Same thing for Cobblestone and OpTic Gaming. Looking at their bans too, it makes perfect sense because they just want to get rid of the maps where the talent can shine. Dust 2 and Cash are probably the two easiest maps for that. So let's get those out of the pool.
Well, exactly. If you're coming up against a team that's doing this kind of pugging style, right, they're the two maps you take out. That's it. So, I mean, great game plan by OpTic, well executed. They were confident with what was left in the map pool, and I think they've got a map that's going to serve them very, very well. Not so much because they're strong on it, but just because their opponents are so weak on it.
Yeah, and again, I talked in depth about the pressure, obviously, that Winterfox is feeling, but the OpTic Nation, the Green Wall, is huge, legendary.
Yeah, I reckon we're going to see a slight spike in viewership about now.
You all better be watching Green Wall. Please be watching.
When does OpTic play?
Mom, get the
when
camera.
does OpTic play? We'll come. If you don't know what that means, Go fans, you just keep an eye on chats. You will quickly see. And that being said, though, Big Boss Man Hector's here. Their camera guy's here to make content. So, he was in Vegas as well with him, right? Probably checking him out. But again, more of a show match thing. This is real Counter-Strike, real tournament setting. You got to work through a bracket versus a show match. And again, I think they have not only the pressure of representing the Green Wall, but Hector's here and nice guy and all, but he too will only take so much of wait a minute, you're supposed to be better than this, right?
Yeah, I get that. I mean, but look, here's what I'll say. And I've been talking to Hector since he came into CS:GO, helping him get the lay of the land a bit. Great guy. Totally respect all of his achievements in Call of Duty, and I think this is going to be a real good pickup for them. He's given them so much support. He's come to all of these events. He's there. The content creator guys are there. They've got everything they need right now. This isn't a placeholder pickup for him.
Yeah.
It wasn't his first choice. I've said that multiple times, but this is the team he wants to work with now moving forward, and they get everything that they need to achieve, and you can see how relaxed they are. You can see they're in a much better place. No disrespect to what happened with Conquest, but these guys had other options. They could have been TSM, right?
Yeah.
They're with OpTic for a reason, and I think they're, as I said, I think they're going to fly that green color pretty
There
proud.
is something to be said to having that nice confidence about your organization, not having to worry about day-to-day of your life, and OpTic will give you that security for sure. Folks, you can see the map is starting. It is going to be Overpass. OpTic's going to take on Winterfox, best of one. This time bringing you the action, Van Silly and Creamy Moses.
You know what? I'm so glad I don't have any of these nicknames. You know what? I'm so glad I don't get any of these nicknames right now, Moses. I like not being creamy.
I like not being old.
Thank you so much, gentlemen downstairs. Let's start the map. Here on Overpass, Winterfox versus OpTic Gaming. Winterfox on the CT side, composed of Anger, Flowsick, Lex, Desi, and XP3. While for OpTic Gaming, we have Stanislaw, Daps, Rush, Shazam, and Nafly. Starting off on T side is OpTic Gaming, and they are lucky to take control of this blue door area and possibly a split towards B. But looks like we sort of has some nice defense on B side for the CTs.
Yeah, well, XP3 got aggressive. Now he's going to spot them all coming up the door. So he spotted no one coming towards A initially, and it looked good. So the stack it looked fantastic to start with, but now he's goosh. Now they've got to rotate back towards the A bomb site, and look at how mobile OpTic's being. Not slowing down whatsoever. They're blocked off by a smoke at the moment, but I mean, they've got this defense just not even understanding where they need to rotate to, where they need to position. So this is a good start into the round for OpTic.
The advantage right now is at least for Overpass. He could rotate very quickly between A and B. So XP3 grabbing that information at first, gets caught on the side by Shazam at long. So, like you mentioned, Moses, very split across for OpTic Gaming. They finally commit to A. The bomb is down by Desi, but quickly traded out by Shazam. And they're going to pick up the bomb, go for that plant, and a rotation comes in from the CT side.
Yeah, very aggressive from XP3. Now look at this retake. Here comes Flowsick with a 5-7. Doesn't even have to stop. He's got Rush in the site. 2 kills for him. Great round so far. Shazam, now he's the next one. He's got to do battle long range. Can't land any of the shots, and Lex is going to win it. So this is turned completely around. OpTic Gaming on their back foot, Daps with 1 HP. Can't do anything. Winterfox is going to snatch that one away.
That is actually a great retake there, especially from Flowsick. Committed on that buy for that 5-7. Able to get those 2 entries on the retake for Winterfox, which looks so bad to start things off because XP3 actually died, caught off guard. Desi now is kind of like struggling inside that A site. Luckily for him as well, was able to kill the bomb carrier to give a little bit more time for Winterfox to come in for the retake.
It's just, I mean, OpTic just didn't seem ready for Flosic to be that aggressive on the retake with the 5-7. Only one member watching the top of those stairs, and he had a lot of freedom to work with coming in. So nicely done from Winterfox. Now they're going to buy up. Not too many, only one SMG. That's going to be on Lex. Famas is all around, maybe expecting a buy, but no armor on the side of OpTic Gaming. Although they do drop XP3 with a nice trade.
Yeah, exactly. Good positioning for right there for OpTic Gaming by having 3 guys at party. Now it's a 4 versus 4, but lots of information was given away there for Winterfox. I like how they played the beginning of the round as well by smoking from CT spawn up towards Monster, that longer pipe at lower B, so they could take better positioning at B and focus more at the A site. But now it's a 4 versus 4. Looks like it's going to be a 2-2 setup for both the counter-terrorist team of Winterfox.
Yeah, look at this gamble, though. Desi pushing up. He could get caught off guard. Rush isn't paying attention, though. None of them are peeking anything, so he gets 2 kills. Finally taken out by Stan. And now Shazam, he's found Lex. Lex is not prepared for this. That flashbang perfectly timed to bail Lex out of a tough spot. Just down to Stanislaw, who's not going to be able to do anything. Once that aim punch comes in, Flosic's going to clean him out. 2-0 now for Winterfox.
Yeah, at the same time, still a lot of economy built up there. They lost 2 players, but at least they got some kills with some machine guns as well, adding some more economy. But they did get a bomb plan for OpTic Gaming. They went for only a pistol upgrade, which P250s. Definitely give them enough money right now for this buy, as you could see. Full buy, full armor as well, with the exception of Naflight that doesn't have any utility to work with for the team, but still a heavy investment right now that could put them back in a safe situation if they lose this.
Yeah, that bomb plant in the first round helping him out, get these AKs, so a little bit of an advantage against 3 Famases. Look at this, more aggression from Desi. He's going to get in touch with Shazam very quickly. Shazam
Nice.
commits to the fight, actually, and he can't do anything. The mobility's taken away. Now they're going to smoke off for the retreat, but Rush is going to try and come through it. Nade hurts very, very much, though. It's very nicely done. Stop that aggression. So good job by Winterfox early on.
Yeah, you saw the aggression from Desi, but at the same time, he had some backup from XP3. So they are moving as a team. Now they're trying to push him back a little bit for OpTic Gaming, trying to take control of this middle, trying to take control of Washroom as well. But Desi long range drops the bomb carrier. So you're going to see that rotate coming in from the CT side now from that overhead view. Daps, Rush, Nafly. Last 3 remaining here for OpTic Gaming. Still a minute to work with. They have to try to get these picks and try to open up middle a bit. At least you have Nafly lurking a bit towards B, trying to split the defense a bit. But again, with the bomb being down, you won't see this heavy rotation coming back. They just want to make sure now for Winterfox that nobody's going to be flanking them.
Yeah, they have a good advantage. They have that man advantage, so they can just fall back towards the site. But Naf's done a good job of trying to spread this defense thin, because you can see Lex is on the rotate now, falling back towards that B bomb site. Naf trying to find another one-on-one, and he's going to win it. Barely taking any damage whatsoever. He's being a beast in this round, brought it down into a 3-on-3, and he's also got great positioning to pressure this B bomb site. So now there's a decision to make here for Winterfox. It's a nice dink by XP3, and Lex gets called out by his teammate, and he gets overly aggressive, finds that kill. And now Rush and Daps have nothing to do but fall back, but Desi's waiting.
They literally have to rush up right now, and Desi hears him like you mentioned it, Moses. But nice flick there by Daps with the headshot. Not much time to work left yet, so they have to make it inside this A bomb site, get the plant. Rush will be able to do so. Daps watching his back. Now here's the double peek from Winterfox. Can they hold it? Can they retake? Depending right now, it's going to be the advantage for Winterfox. Daps is going to be the last man standing, and Lex goes for the white peak, gets the kill. The defuse comes in, and it's going to be 3-0.
3 kill by Lex, but I mean, Desi's got to hit that shot. That was very scary once he falls without getting that kill. He has great positioning, all the intel. But either way, Winterfox up 3-0. That plant's going to help OpTic out. They're going to be back onto one more save round, and with the losing bonus, with that plant next round, more than likely they'll put an AWP in Shazam's hands. And with all this money building up, they can actually afford. They can upgrade some pistols. They can get some armor behind this, try and do some economic damage, because, I mean, Winterfox hasn't stabilized very much. They still have 3 members that are below $300 in their bank. So, I mean, they're still running a little bit low. They're still kind of in that danger period where they can't take too much damage.
Exactly. This is where they could actually reset it back on to Winterfox. Now with this Tech 9, thankfully for them, they're up against pistols, but Tech 9's on a rush up towards B. It could be still very deadly, but a great hold by Winterfox so far. Rush with the last man standing as it gets picked off by Anger with a great hold for Winterfox. And you said it, they didn't need to lose that many players. They lost 2, not so bad, but still not enough economy there if they want to go for, actually they could get an AWP in the hands of XP3 if they want to battle it against Shazam.
Doesn't look like they're going to go to it quite yet, though. Either way, 4-0, a good start for Winterfox, and Shazam does have his, so we'll see how he tries to open this roundup. This is good defense so far by Winterfox. They've done a great job in that first gun run of controlling the bathroom area. It's a huge staging area for the terrorists, and look at this. Desi's going to get aggressive down the stairs. Daps is waiting to watch for it, but I mean, they've also taken control of short sewers over towards the B bomb site, so great map control taken by Winterfox on the defense. And they can choose what to do from here because they are controlling the map right now.
Yeah, there's still, well, Desi, after playing that staircase, saw no action, saw no flashes, decides to fall back because they do have two guys playing towards short water there for Flowsick and for Anger. So they're just going to wait for some information. They're going to hear a few footsteps, but meanwhile, the T's are making their way towards long, where Desi is going to be waiting for him after rotating out from stairs.
Yeah, they want to use that AWP Shazam at long range, and look at Daps. He opens the door, finds Flowsick, closes it, knows there might be one more there, but he's content to give his team the man advantage. Now Desi's got to be careful. He cannot afford to get picked off here. If Shazam finds this kill, that would be so detrimental to Winterfox. He's waiting for the jump, and he unscopes at the exact wrong moment. Very poor timing, and now Desi knows. Him and XP3 are going to have to mount a big defense, and Lex is taking up positioning close to the doors, and once again it's Naf outside of B. He's just playing this one-on-one spot. He knows with that kill, the defense is going to be light and rotation's going to come over, so he can find a one-on-one. He actually runs through the molly. He wants this fight, and he's going to catch Lex off guard, brings him down very low, cleans up that kill, but there's XP3 as well, 3-on-3.
Well, he's going to peek back out now, gets another headshot, and now Stanislav trades it back, but it's a 2 versus 2. 27 seconds left on the clock. They're going to try to go for a safe plant, but Desi is still holding inside the site. Now it's a 1v1. Shazam getting the op shot. He's going to look for that bomb. 20 seconds left. He's going to have to move quickly. Anger's already at CT spawn with the M4. Going to go for that fake plant. He's going to hear the footsteps coming out, and Shazam clutches a 2 versus 1 and puts the first point on the scoreboard for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, Anger bit on that fake plant so hard. Starts stomping. Let's go with the walk key. Makes all the noise, and that's all Shazam needs. You could see him. He was looking for the flank. He had no idea where Anger was coming from, but as soon as you bite on that fake, this is the real tough part. We mentioned their economy was not really that stabilized. Now they have a decision to make. Do they want to force buy into this round? And they're not going to. So they win 4 in a row, and they lose 1, and immediately they have to be forced back on a pistol. So you could see it's been a hallmark of this team dating back to when they were Luminosity, dating back to when they were Mythic. They like these deagle buys. They like the heavy deagles. They have 4 of them into this round.
And starting off with Anger would usually be the opener for there, and he spots Daps, misses the shot. A little bit of information given away as everybody's moving actually very aggressively, and there you go. Anger getting the first headshot with that deagle. I've mentioned it before on Twitter. He makes me hard with it. He's going to fall back here inside B and meet up with his teammates, but only one guy looking for some information. That was Desi at long. Gets off by Shazam, and A is under control by the terrorist team.
Yeah, they did a great job of really neutralizing this early aggression. Anger did get 1 kill, but either way, there's no defense at that A-bomb site. As OpTic Gaming with this op, this looks like something they're going to be doing moving forward into these rounds. That Shazam has that AWP, really work that long passageway towards the A-bomb site. So Anger and Flowsick are here. Can they get another kill or two, try and make something happen? Nice shot from Naf, drops Flowsick. Anger's only got 14 HP. Not much for him to do, can't land any more shots, and it's just Lex on the flank, but eventually someone from OpTic is going to turn around and know that this is exposed.
Well, he's just going to look for the angle for the exit. Connects with Rush, but he gets aim punched and taken down. So that's going to be the easy round coming in for OpTic Gaming. It started sort of well there with Anger getting that kill in the control inside of the staircase, but nobody really moved in to try to salvage that AK-47 left behind by Daps. So now at this point, they are going to be on a buy situation, but look at that economy. They went for the buy, but only with 2 FAMASs, only 1 kit on the belt of Anger. They don't have that much to work with here, Moses.
The real thing that Winterfox has got to be careful of is Naf. I mean, he's been doing such massive damage to him at that B bomb site, just lurking it, waiting, biding his time to find his fights. They've got to be really cognizant of that fact that he's going to be there in the mid-rounds. And he's really what's beating him up. And that's a common tactic used in the meta on Overpass right now. We see European teams do it a lot. For Virtus Pro, it's Bialy who does that job. You know, on TQM, it's Device often who's playing the solo at the extremities. And look at XP3 up on top. He's going to go for the peek. What a shot. Shazam can't even react in time.
So now Stan is going to try to take control of the washrooms. Dab's trying to clear out. So he's going to play possibly the lurk role with Nafly as well, trying to get openers towards B, force to rotate out towards there, and then they could still decide because the rest of the guys for OpTic Gaming are still playing towards party side. So it's going to be easy for them to rotate towards A or B depending where they get the openings. But XP3 going to work right there, getting the wall shot onto Stanislav, putting him down to 19 HP. And now they're just going to be forced to fall back and just hold a bit more and hoping that Rush can get something done with the AWP.
Yeah, but just that pressure, just that, you know, that presence in bathrooms by OpTic Gaming has forced Lex to rotate back, and actually OpTic has fallen down the stairs all the way towards B, so now Lex has got to get on his horse. He's got to get back there quick enough. because there's no more pressure being applied at the A bomb site. And now look at this Flowsick jump spotting. He had to have seen Daps.
Yeah.
They know he's here now, but here's Naf again with the opening pick. Flowsick's got to get aggressive now because his back is exposed. Gets the first kill, but he's traded off down to a 3-on-3. Lex is rotated here, spraying through the smoke just a little bit early, but this is a tough spot to be in, especially that shot by Naf, who's huge plays for OpTic Gaming. Bails him out in this round. And it's just down to Desi so quickly, and this round has slipped completely away from Winterfox.
Yeah, at this point, Desi has no choice but to fall back 3 versus 1. Greatly planned for short as well. You thought it was going to be Winterfox's round because the information was all there from that peek that came out from Flowsick at the sandbags at short. Spotted 2 guys after killing Rush, and then at the same time, Anger died at long B. So the 3 guys were there. They knew exactly where they were at, but somehow just through this smoke, they're just able to capitalize on this B site for OpTic Gaming. Now exit kills at least to do some economical damage from Desi's side. But at this point, it's going to be the round coming in from OpTic Gaming, closing in this gap. And you're going to see another save situation for Winterfox.
Yeah, this is the thing. They have to figure out what they want to do in this eco round to neutralize Naf, because he's winning OpTic Gaming all 3 of these rounds. Now he's basically single-handedly put Winterfox back onto an eco. So maybe what you decide to do, I mean, that's a great first pick by XP3 over towards Long, does great damage to Stan. Maybe in the mid round you rotate him back and you put him at Monster, because Naf isn't doing anything special. He's not throwing flashes or smokes or doing anything. He's just walking out and taking a duel and winning it. So that's perfect for an Op to just capitalize on that. Either way, maybe you put 2 players over towards Monster, and in the mid round you just get aggressive and swing out and take that fight with Naf. You bring it to him. Either way, you got to do something because he's wrecking you right now.
Well, it looks like it's a stack coming in here for the CTs with 3 guys with P250s holding this B bomb site. The M4 is holding up towards short with XP3, so you kind of see like this duo working around with Desi and XP3 working together. At least they put the rifle power onto one side and focus the rest towards B, but very passive play by OpTic Gaming. They know that Winterfox are on a save, and CT's usually on a save right now, especially in North America. They like to play at aggressive pushes usually, whether depending on the map, but now they see that it's kind of reset. They're guessing a stack, but they're still trying to figure out that information of where that stack is.
Yeah, OpTic taking this round very cautiously. Lex takes a little bit of spam, but he's got the intel that a couple are coming outdoor. This is where they have 3 members over at this B bomb site. XP3 and Desi are boosted up. Desi has the M4 from the previous round, so looking like this is going to be an A execute. Here come the smokes. These 3 players have got to do some damage. They want to give Desi a chance with that M4 to get into the fight. And here comes OpTic swinging wide. Stan's going to get that opening kill towards Pit, and they're just going to clean it out. All 3 members fall very quickly for Winterfox.
Yeah, they had the stack. They just were countered there about all those smokes being thrown and the flashes as well to overtake the site. So XP3 at this point trying to salvage that M4, but Rush sees that little finger sticking out from that graffiti side trying to pick up that gun. So takes him down, flawless victory for OpTic Gaming. We're tied up 4-4 overall now. We're going to see this buy coming in for this team of Winterfox, and XP3 is going to decide if he's going to go for this AWP glass cannon, and indeed he will.
Yeah, he's going to go for it. It's XP3.
That's true.
He's not going to shy away from that. He wants to take that battle so badly.
That's true.
He won it last time against Shazam. It was a beautiful shot. Just from there, it just collapses for Winterfox. So this time they're going to get aggressive. They're going to try and control bathrooms one more time. Desi, this is the second time. He did this play last time, hiding in the smoke, listening for any kind of information. The problem is, once someone gets into party, you can't really escape, and that smoke has a time limit on it.
At least it's because XP3 is also there opping from the washroom. So if he actually hears Rush moving up from the party room, XP3 could try to op it. That's why he's also re-smoking it, but meanwhile they're lurking towards this long A side.
I was hoping Desi was just going to push that smoke. It looked like it if he was going to just flank right behind him, but he's got to be careful because now they're going to start coming behind. He's going to be up in party. XP3 might not be aware where they are.
He spots the bomb though.
Doesn't matter. XP3 falls. There's Desi. Finally gets away his position. Gets 1 kill. Gets a second. Finally taken down by Daps. It is into a 3-on-3. But look at the position that Shazam has gathered. He's halfway up long right now with this AWP. So, I mean, now it comes into the spot where, yeah, Winterfox, you've got some good trades. You've each got 2 kills into the round, but you have no idea. You have no concept of where OpTic Gaming is on the map. They're rotating all the way back towards the B bomb site. It's just Anger playing from far back. He can't really slow anything down.
And they still have smokes and mollies to work with, and Shazam trying to get an op shot towards short, but everybody's really rushing. The rest of the 2 remaining members of OpTic Gaming, are pushing in towards this B bomb site. Can Anger hold it from Graffiti's side? Nafly is peeking out, and so far Nafly has been winning these fights against Anger, and that molly forces him in the corner, giving them a chance to get a plant for the terrorist side and sit up for the pulse plant.
This is just awkward now. This retake is going to be so difficult. 2 kits on the board. Naf gets that first kill. Does get dinked. He's brought very, very low. And he's just going to fall away smartly. He's got 2 teammates now, and all they have to do is play the bomb.
Yeah, because they have nothing to work with for the CT side. No flashes, no smokes. They're just going to have to run through and bait them out. Anger trying to go for that fake defuse. Flowsick, the last man standing. Elise gets the first one, but now they know he's inside that pillar side. He's just going to try to attempt to save this AWP, but they're going to cut him across towards the short side. Spot it. Runs away. Bomb's going to go off. OpTic Gaming's going to take the lead. Off shot miss. And that's going to be it. They're going to be able to salvage that up back onto the hands of Shazam. And they're looking good here on T side of Overpass.
This is tough now. Winterfox win those first 4, and now it just seems like they're letting it slip away. That round, they just didn't have any intel. In fact, Lex did spot Shazam and take a couple bullets at him when he was at the top of stairs, but that just kind of froze the rotation. Anger was still very much isolated at that B bomb site, playing so far back, couldn't stop him from entering the site, couldn't get any kills done. So just tough for Winterfox at the moment. And they're back onto a save. Deagles are out.
Deagles are out, and a push actually into the washrooms, the toilets, however you want to call it, but since I'm a polite Canadian,
The loo.
I'm going to call it the washrooms.
The loo.
The loo. But they're not going to spawn anything yet because it's going to be an open site for OpTic Gaming moving inside B. Easy plant coming through, post set up as well. So it's going to be time for the counter-terrorist team to set up for exits. And nothing more could add on to this because they went for the gamble, pushing up towards that fountain side, trying to catch somebody off guard for long as well, knowing that the past few rounds they actually utilized Shazam with 2 of their players a lot to take control of that long area, but they're not going to spot anybody there. They're all pushing towards T-spawn and also the staircase to catch them on the exits.
Yeah, even someone coming to meet up with Shazam to make sure that he doesn't lose anything. They spot out Anger. He's going to fall. He's getting blocked a little bit by a teammate, but it's going to be Desi. It's his turn to walk into a bullet. Shazam with the up finds XP3. 1 more. Anger even rushing everyone. Just no exit kills for for Winterfox. Really well done from OpTic to make sure they don't lose any weapons, and they're just building bank.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Rush died to the bomb there right at the end.
Well, like you said, they're making bank. Doesn't really matter if Rush died so far. Looking at the money situation, all of them after this full buy, the lowest is going to be Rush, like you said, because he forced bot, but the rest of them at 8K, 7K for Nafly, and now it's a heavy investment again for Winterfox, but they have to get something done this time.
Yeah, this is the round they really have to get back on the board. They have to start things out here. And XP3 going to get aggressive, going to go for Shazam. That flashbang doesn't do anything, and he almost lands that jumping shot. Can't quite do it, but this is a changeup from OpTic Gaming. This time they're going to send heavy players upstairs very, very quick, 4 of them. Shazam's all alone over at Party. There's a double stack towards long for Winterfox. Desi behind the tree. XP3 spots him. There's where Desi peeks, but he misses the shots. What a reaction from Shazam. Almost gets a second as well. Pre-fires, but from behind. Rush is going to drop him, and the A-bomb site is lost.
Yeah, and that's going to be it right now. They're going to get the plan at default spot. And just at that, I'm pretty sure their last 3 guys are going to save back. Indeed, they are rotating back towards B. And I kind of like how this was played a little bit on both teams. You always see Desi and XP3 push together, right? They went up towards the fountain side. Now Shazam gets the information with the off-shot miss by XP3. They're going to say, okay, they're playing aggressively. Let's try to take it over. The rest of OpTic Gaming rushed up towards the staircase to catch them off guard. What I liked on the other side, though, for XP3 and Desi, was XP3 just decided to shoot that off through the rock to try to bait him out, to give a chance for Desi to come out towards that tree, to at least take the upper down. But Shazam was just on point on the reaction shot to get that headshot after.
It's just tough because OpTic, I mean, they switched the pace. Winterfox wasn't ready for that at all. They beat the rotations back to the A-bomb site. And actually, the entire time, Winterfox didn't even have the knowledge. They only knew there was 1 player out towards long. That was Shazam who wins that battle. They don't realize there's 4 members just bull rushing upstairs. So they beat him. They beat the rotation to the A-bomb site and wrap behind him. I mean, that's just incredible. So Winterfox is just getting beaten up right now. 7 rounds in a row for OpTic. Now, Winterfox did manage to grab an AWP there at the end of the round. They can pass over to XP3, but they have nothing going for them. They haven't found 0 success anytime recently.
Well, at least they were able to salvage the AWP. They were also able to take down Shazam on the exit, so that was some economy forced in for Shazam to buy another AWP. But again, they're building banks so far for this OpTic Gaming team, and for this round, they're playing it passively, letting the CTs come to them again, wait a few seconds, and they're going to utilize Shazam to try to take control towards long, and then also Nafly is still lurking towards that spot at the T-spawn to make his way towards B. And then they just have so much to work with because everything that they're trying to do is working so far for OpTic Gaming. Whether it be openings towards the A side or whether it be Nafly lurking towards B, his lurking role basically almost becomes an entry role as well for Nafly because he's just taking that side so easily.
Yeah, he's definitely the one who created all the success. You know, when they got this run started, the first 3 or 4 rounds for OpTic were all based off Naf's impact. Now it's kind of been spread out. They've been playing very much better as a team. Stan, who's quietly a very strong player on this team, he just slowly grinds out kills, racks up the numbers. He's sitting up towards the top as well with Naf, and look at Stan, just as we talk about him, gets aggressive in the smoke, spots one out, sprays for it, can't find it. Dap's going to be one to get a kill on the other side of the map. That was Flowsick. Once again pushed up towards those short sewers, and Anger's going to trade off Naf. One of the few times Naf's actually fallen trying to find that fight.
Well, this gives you an advantage to take this over, and Anger decides to peek aggressively towards short, and they're still holding towards this A-bomb site as well. Great job by Winterfox to try to turn this back in. Lex is going to burn Stanislaw, so it's a 2 versus 1, 18 seconds left. Rush is going to look for a plant. Gets the fake one more time. He's going to hear the footsteps one more time. He's going to be able to take Anger, but great setup for that trade with Desi moving through. Thankfully there, because maybe 2 seconds later, that trade wouldn't have happened, and Rush might have clutched it.
Yeah, it was smart by Desi to go all the way around from Bank to meet up at those stairs to just follow his teammate out. Rush was so exposed, so he gets that first kill, but he's got no cover to provide to kind of recover his recoil. So finally, Winterfox get back on the board. They've got 7, but they've still got a lot of money to burn through on the OpTic side before they can kind of breathe a sigh of relief, and they need to get these last 3 rounds. This CT side of Overpass is not going well for them whatsoever.
Shazam going to try to get an opening with the AWP, trying to see if XP3 is going to go on that bench side with a push. It was a small gap there for Desi to peek out towards that fountain side, but
he wants to go through this so bad. He wants to.
They're kind of predicting it from OpTic Gaming at the same time with those 2 first pre-fired shots. He decides to fall back here inside the A-bomb site. I'm wondering if that was a mistake flash there by bouncing off the side of the washrooms to give a chance to fall back. Luckily for him,
but it
actually exactly. He made it back inside the A site.
He was playing with fire too. He was all alone, very, very aggressive. He's still doing it. He's playing behind a smoke right now, but look at this. Shazam's going to get boosted up onto the flowers. Over towards long, see if he can find anything. No one's peeking here for Winterfoxes, but they also have no knowledge of where these guys are. But look at this. Over at the B bomb site, Flowsick and Anger have pushed up through the sewers now, so they're going to be flanking towards T-spawn, so now all the intel. 3 players stacked over towards A. They're going to have 1 player just watch the stairwell, that's sewer door, and 1 player coming through T-spawn. So if OpTic doesn't, hurry this up a little bit, they're going to find themselves in a world of hurt.
Same thing for Winterfox as well, though. They had to flank a lot quicker than this to try to help them out. And XP3 missing the first shot, finally connects with the second one. That trades it back to a 4 versus 4. They are executing for OpTic Gaming as XP3 gets the second one. And finally, they take 2 down, 1 remaining inside the A side. Here comes the flank. Shazam with a 180 to get it onto Flowsick. Misses that second one, though, but he's going to be the last man standing. 2 versus 1. Picks up the bomb, and good job for Winterfox to play this a little bit more passively now because Anger is coming up on that flank, spots him and takes him down, and Winterfox finally comes back into this game with a 1-point deficit in his first half against OpTic Gaming.
I like that aggressive call by Winterfox because what that does too is, what they've been experiencing this whole half is Naf just beating up on him over there, biding his time. So they push 2. Either way, they can at least trade that kill if he's there. Other than that, they got the massive flanks. They got everything they could have wanted, and they needed it. Because even with the massive stack, even with those flanks coming in quickly, OpTic Gaming still brought it down into a 1-on-2 Shazam. He had some opportunities to win that. If he had hit that second shot onto Lex as he hid behind the stairs, that could have been a really scary spot.
Yeah, and that was the interesting part too, because Nafly wasn't actually watching that flank on that last round. He played it with his team, tried to execute with OpTic Gaming inside that A site, and because of that, gave that huge advantage for Winterfox to win that round. Although they lost, they won the round, they did lose 3 players, so this round here, at least they have a double off setup, but this could be key for OpTic Gaming to try to reset it back and make it a 9-6 score. And we'll see if that's going to be the case, but Winterfox...
It's a very interesting double off setup to pull on the CT side.
Yeah, what do they have so far here?
It could be one of those things where, maybe they're just saying, like what I said earlier in the half, that if Naf's just going to walk through Monster and try and go for a 1-on-1 pick, bring it. I've got an AWP scoped in. But either way, actually, it's going to be 2 members. Anger and Flowsick are double teaming that with an M4, and then there's Lex, who has the AWP in the site watching short.
Yeah, so very passive play from the CT side for Winterfox, and they're just going to wait for this execution. You can see it from that overhead view. It looks like it might be towards B, but they still have a lot of time to work with 44 seconds left on the clock to still try to move in towards that blue door and execute back towards A. But those mollies are going to come in from Graffiti, so we are going to have to call to move inside B. Lex gets the opener, a second one. Good setup, crossfire, and Lex gets a hat trick. Shazam is going to be the last man standing. Great way to win this round for Winterfox with a flawless victory.
All right, then. Get wrecked.
Yep.
Lex, just an animal with that AWP that round. Really nicely done from him. And that's the thing, too, because that position can be Molotoved or smoked out. And they used all their Molotovs, elsewhere.
Yep.
to make sure that there's no one going to be there. But now, finally, Winterfox has grinded out the economy of OpTic Gaming. Now it's going to be 4 Tech 9s, an AK-47 on a NAF. Not really too much to open this round up with. I would expect this with these Tech 9s. I mean, this is the scary part. With smokes, if they can do some kind of fast-paced, decisive execution, these can get scary. But XP3 pushing up one more time. He's going to get flashback, completely blind. He's got to be careful. He's out in the open. They're coming up the stairs. XP3 gets caught.
And also Desi's out of position. Elise gets the kill onto Navfly, but they have to have the quick rotation from Lex, who's making his way up towards the CT spawn with the AWP. But like you said, Moses, here comes the execution with the smokes, giving him a chance to go for this plant. And on the flank, Stanislaw long range wins it with a Tech 9 versus an AK-47. They're scrambling right now for WFX. Finally, Lex makes it a 3 versus 3, but the clock is ticking down on this bomb.
So many Molotovs they've picked up, and all the utility as well as smokes and flash. Lex, what can you do? You got to be careful. Does find Shazam. One out towards long, one to the left here. They swing, they find Daps. It's going to be Stanislaw. Fires a little bit early. They know where he is, but he's getting chased out. Pulls out the flashbang, and Anger's going to find that one. So Winterfox recover nicely. You could see it got a little bit scary when Lex was the first one rotating with that AWP. With that gun, you can't really do much to slow down that hit.
Yep.
So he actually doesn't even try, doesn't even go for it. Smart play, stays alive, waits for his teammate, just goes and grabs an angle and bank and finds a quick kill before they finally get there.
So this ends the half 8-7 in favor of Winterfox. Kind of like a standard score that we would actually see here on a map like Overpass, but also a great job by Lex. You would think usually the opper for Winterfox would be XP3, but now Lex decides to pick it up. Ever since they went with that double op setup, and he's been stepping up big. You guys, do you think actually that they're going to switch it around on T side to maybe have Lex if they want to use an op?
Lex isn't going to op on the T side. I'm not even sure. XP3 might not even op on the T side. It depends on what kind of tactics they want to run, how fast-paced they want to be on this map. He definitely can. Might be something that they just wait. And, you know, sometimes you see XP3 doesn't pick it up because he's also the endgame leader. And I've talked to him about this. He hates opping and endgame leading at the same time. He does it because he feels like he has to.
Yeah.
But it might be something where he just rolls with an AK-47 until he can pick up a free one from, like, Shazam when he dies on the CT side. Maybe they just don't want to spend the money on it. So we'll see how that pans out. But they started out really, really good. They ended really, really good. But that middle portion was tough. I mean, OpTic beat them up 7 rounds in a row. And Winterfox, I feel, really kind of gave up. That looked good for those first 4 rounds, and they couldn't build on it.
Well, again, you mentioned it. It's because of that economy that we've seen it repeatedly and repeatedly for Winterfox. When they're actually moving in, winning a few rounds, it's always very close rounds that they actually win. And as soon as they lose the first one, their economy's broken.
They did. They won 4 straight, and then they saved losing 1. But and that's the big thing. Now it's going to be on the defense. Shazam with his AWP over towards long and bathrooms over at the A-bomb site. If he can control that, Winterfox is in some trouble.
Yeah.
Naf and Stanislaw playing really well also. So there's some scary things going on here for Winterfox, but they recover pretty decently in that first half after getting beat up for quite some time. That's a positive for sure. But now they got to bring it on their T side.
Yeah, I think one more thing that maybe they could add on the CT side for OpTic Gaming is possibly have Stan also opt for OpTic Gaming. I talked about it with Lawners at the same time before coming into this event, and we both agreed to it. Stanislaw, ever since he started with Mobility Gaming, that's where he started shining as well. He's an overall big package for as a player. He could in-game lead, he could actually frag, he could op as well. He's actually up there with one of the best fraggers, but we're going to start the pistol round here on the second half with the CTs opening up. Shazam going with a 1-2 while Stanislaw capitalizes on a 3rd kill, and these guys are now scrambling for Winterfox. It's looking to be a flawless victory for OpTic Gaming on the CT side. Anger trying to get something done, but Shazam gets a 3K and nothing gets pushed at the staircase.
Yeah, that was sick. They just took over that staircase, and actually you could see Winterfox wanted to pinch that staircase from both sides, from Fountain and from that underpass. But the underpass portion of the attack was just so much faster than the Fountain. Those 2 players just run up into a stack, they get obliterated, and then all the CTs can change their attention to the top of the staircase. So nicely done from OpTic Gaming. A little bit sloppy from Winterfox, just a full-blown rush, and they lose all the map control they wanted to gain. Not even going to buy into this round. They didn't get a plant, so there's not going to be any real opportunity for a 3rd round buy unless they can find some kind of magical plant here. They do upgrade some pistols, but nothing to work with in terms of armor or utility.
Yeah, because not only didn't they get a plant, they didn't get a single kill. So they do have a light investment with Lex with a deagle, but at this point, with only slow pistols, I'm wondering if they're going to try to sell some sort of fake and then just try to get a bomb plant here. But at this point, I think they should try to push it as a team. But it's going to turn down to who's going to be luckier with the opening here for Winterfox. But looks like the bomb is committing towards long with 2 of their teammates. So they're going to be 4 overall, mid up with Lex as well. And we're going to see if Nafly and his teammate Shazam could hold it inside A.
Yeah, they're essentially going to be relying on Lex to maybe grab like a really fortunate 1D. Shazam with the scout, a lot of options here. I mean, he's the sniper, so he's really good at this gun. Sees it jumping. He's going to wait for the peek. He gets dinked out early, though. He doesn't even land that shot, but he can fall back into the site and jump over the box. He's going to stay here, though. He's exposed from 2 angles. Shazam gets a little bit reckless there. He falls. Naf, what can you do? Nicely done. The SMG, 2 kills, maybe a 3rd as well. Can't land it. Finally, he falls, but the rotations are here. He's bought enough time. No more danger.
All they want to do is try to get this plant, but they can't. Now XP3 is caught out in the middle of a crossfire, sorry. And he gets picked off there.
Firecross, eh?
A fire crossfire. That's a new word. I like inventing words. But OpTic Gaming are going to take the lead 9-8 with, again, that's 2 bomb plants that they couldn't get for Winterfox. One that was really close. Able to get 3 kills there, but again, the MP9 that was held inside that site for Nafly built up the economy for there to get this drop.
He needed those 2 kills, and I mean those were crucial to allow the rotation. Him, Stanizon, and Shazam are having a really good match here for OpTic Gaming. On the other side for Winterfox, it's Lex who's topping the board at 16-12. Desi is next, 12-13, and Anger at 11-10. Those are the top 3 for Winterfox. But either way, once again, 5 Deagles on the board, so this is kind of one of those tactics where you almost have to use them as scouts. Or, you know, one tag brings someone down to about 50, you know, depending on where you hit them, can bring them down to about half health and maybe use, you know, the other couple tags to clean them off. So this is a big investment, though.
Advantage of that, though, for Winterfox is that OpTic Gaming does not have a scope in the hands of Shazam. Shazam is actually playing this with a silenced M4, so he's going to have to go for the wide peaks, and XP3 will have to try to connect, and Shazam still so ballsy, stays out and keeps spraying. He's down to 38, cannot connect right after that. And now he's going to spawn actually 3 guys, so you see that rotation coming in from the CT side as well to all come back towards the A bomb side, but you still have 50 seconds left to work with. They have plenty of time to rotate back and try to catch one off guard inside B.
They have plenty of time to just, you know, use these deagles and hold angles. There it is. Desi finds Rush. That's what they were looking for. 1 kill down. Shazam very low. Still, I believe 2 members now as a 3rd member rotates away. That's Daps. Stands still over at the B bomb site, but Naf, once again, it's going to be all on him because Shazam is forced to play so passively with 11 HP. Watching towards long, but what a shot. XP3 just slides out, drops him, and now Shazam, what could you do? You've got no HP to play with, and you fall as well. Down to just Stanizon, Daps. This is a great round from Winterfox.
That's an amazing round. Now at least they don't have armor for Winterfox, and it could still come in and plow them with the armor of OG, and they set it up for the kill for Winterfox after the pulse plant. And it's all those 1Ds that came through from Winterfox to win that round. They're known for this, and you mentioned it, Moses, and that's why you always see them with Deagles. Nobody else really does that in North America, except maybe a year and a half ago when you saw Semphis always buying a Deagle as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a big investment, and that round it pays off. We've seen some other teams do it here and there, but it's just a lot of money to invest into those Deagles, and you really got to hope for a 1 Deag at some point. Desi gives it to him, and then that opens things up for XP3, especially also, you know, how aggressive Shazam's playing, you know, in between long and that main entrance to the A bomb site. He takes so much damage early on that it essentially makes Naf the only player at that site. I mean, Shazam can't do anything when he's down to 10 HP. He can't make any kind of aggressive peaks. He can't be there to trade for you, so a lot of pressure gets put on Naf early on in that A bomb site, not just on that round, but the round before that where he bailed him out. This time he can't do it.
This is something else that Winterfox is kind of known for, getting an eco, but then getting ecoed back, and they're walking straight into a trap. Anger gets dinked as well as they have the stack coming in towards the washroom and party side for OpTic Gaming. So now it's a 5 versus basically almost 3.
Yeah.
Anger's left at 1 HP.
Yeah, this is incredible. Now they've got to readjust, and this is where you need Flowsick to get a little bit aggressive towards that B bomb site, but him and Lex are just playing so passively. And now with the man advantage, and they know they've dinked Anger, I mean, OpTic Gaming could fall back into something a little bit more default. So they're going to have 3 players over at the B bomb site. XP3 trying to find this onto Daps. He's brought Daps and Stanizon very low, 42 and 33 HP, but I mean, no kills quite yet. And look how spread out Winterfox is across the map. None of them can make any kind of aggressive play because they're just alone and isolated.
Well, hopefully the aim punch comes in the favor of Winterfox, but OpTic Gaming, a great start for them into this round. Great setup mid-round as well. And they are walking back into another trap here for Winterfox. Can they open it up, or is OG just going to be holding this site? So far, it looks to be the case. Anger falls down, but then Flowsick moves in. Rush still inside the pit, going for the jump pickup. Has the AK-47. It's a 3 versus 2. Make that a 2 versus 2 now as they're closing in slowly. 8 seconds left on the clock. Daps now the last man standing. Spotted now, and finally, Winterfox are looking a little bit better at the end of this round, but lots of economy lost against OpTic Gaming save, because actually that's the only thing that they did on the CT side. They only bought pistols.
Scary, scary round for Winterfox, but they come out alive. So nicely done. Nice recovery from them after losing a member and Anger being down to 1 HP. And OpTic Gaming, they're going to buy into this round. No AWP on the board for Shazam. They do have 4 M4s and a FAMAS to use against all the AK-47s. And look at this. Look at the utility on Winterfox. They've got 5 Molotovs to use to clear things out. 5 grenades as well. So they can actually just nade stack and eliminate any kind of defense at one spot and just use the Molotovs to do the same thing. But they're going to be all grouped up to start this, or all spread out, excuse me. 1 in sewers. Flowsick just playing far back towards that B bomb site, spamming away, trying to get something lucky. Meanwhile, 3 of them over towards Fountain are just trying to make sure there's not going to be any kind of, pushes that are going to catch them off guard.
Yeah, exactly. This is the big test for both teams right now. The first gun round in this second half. And we're going to have to see if Flowsick is going to play the same type of role as Nafly on the first half. You could kind of see him watching that flame towards T-spawn. Is he going to be the one that's going to try to lurk around and get some openings, or lurk inside the B-bomb site to give them a chance to work towards this A-bomb site? But Anger decided to push forward as they molly out towards that tree, so that's what they're going to do first from the party side. Shazam, though, still winning with an M4 only. Doesn't have the AWP. At least Nafly with that support. He misses that flash. But somehow Nafly is able to hold his ground at least. Give him enough time for Shazam to wide peek and get the kill and the 1-man advantage.
Yeah, Flowsick's just going to get wrecked here. Not ready for Santa's Law. Doesn't have to rotate because Naf got 2 kills.
Yeah.
That's the difference, right? Naf gets those 2 kills there, so there's no reason to rotate. They know exactly. Shazam even cleans things up, so they know exactly how many numbers are over at the A-bomb site. So Flowsick can't walk through and find the one-on-one like Naf did.
Yep. That's money thrown away for that round.
But you know what? Once again, Naf bailing him out of a tough spot because Shazam, he misses that flashbang, pulls another one out to go again, and he has no impact on the round at that point.
Yeah.
All the while, Naf's battling like 3 members while Shazam's fumbling with his flashbang. So really well done from Naf. Shazam finally comes up and trades out that 3rd kill. But Naf, we've said it with this team, he's a guy that bails him out of some tough spots very, very frequently, a very solid player.
Yeah. Maybe this is going to be the point where maybe if we had in-game comms, Shazam would have been like, oh, sorry, Nafly.
Yeah, right.
Exiting B.
Oh, jeez.
But 10-10 is our score, tied up overall here on this map. Reminding you guys tuning in on this stream so far, it is only best out of 1 as we're still in group play for the CSGO America's Minors Championship. Resuming this round, though, it is going to be sort of a forced buy for both of the teams. 2 Galils in the hands of Anger and Lex, respectively, while we have a FAMAS in the hands of Stanislaw. But surprisingly enough, again, you don't have an AWP for Shazam.
It's back into that same default as well for Winterfox. They just use 3 members towards Party and towards Fountain. Lex watching the underpass, Flowsick outside B, very, very far away. So no aggression early on by Winterfox. Shazam and Naf are grouped up over towards bathroom as Lex clears out these stairs. He's going to come up and meet up with his teammates. But there is a wall of smokes placed in the bathroom, so no one can pass quite yet. Daps has fallen back from the B side as well to come group up over towards A and just spot out long.
Yeah, I think they just want to try it again because they had sort of a control for Winterfox towards long and washroom. They got caught off by some mispositioning against Nafly. This time they're going to say, okay, let's try it again. We know where they're going to be positioned, but as they're pushing up, they see nothing there. Just on the other side, there's a crossfire setup between Shazam and Nafly just outside of washrooms. Can he get an opening? Speaking about XP3, nades coming through towards the truck side, the APC into long, and Shazam gets a nice kill, wins that fight. Lex trades it back onto Nafly, though, but that leaves Shazam cornered, so they even out the trades with 1 guy inside the site. Dabs making it a 3 versus 3, but at least they get a bomb plant.
Yeah, and Flowsick very slowly watching for the flank. Stanislaw's going to be coming, so Flowsick hears that. It should be a battle 1, but meanwhile, Dabs trying to retake this bomb site. Awkward peek by Anger, and he finds Rush, so it's just on a Dabs, 10 HP. Can't really do anything. That's a nice headshot he finds, but he's got no nades. He does have a kit, but there's really nothing he can do against Flowsick and Desi with 100 HP. This would be the most unlikely 1-on-2 to win for Daps here. Can't find anyone quite yet, and he knows it's a lost cause, so he's just got to bail out. So Winterfox get back on the board, and that might actually that resets the economy completely. So they get their losing bonus reset down to 1,400, and they're going to be broke. They're going to be saving into this next round.
So great plays there for Winterfox to overtake that round. Again, it was a display of patience at the same time. It was initiated by Shazam, who was playing a great spot on the left side with a crossfire from Nafly at the outside of the washrooms. But he was a little bit more anxious. He went for the first wide peek. XP3 spotted him, lost that fight. Speaking about XP3, so that gave an advantage there, but so much information given right after for the trades coming through from short.
Well, he's stuck as well. There's nowhere to fall back from there, especially once his teammate dies. So, I mean, that was just a tough
that's why
spot
I had
be
to
in.
stay alive.
Either way, this is really nice by Winterfox. They're up 11-10. They now control the economy as well. You mentioned it. No AWP for Shazam yet. Look at this fast B play. Stan gets the first kill, but Rush, he's all alone over here. Gonna have to go for more, and he does find two.
Nice
They
play.
get sandwiched towards short sewers, down to a 2-on-3, but the bomb is at the B bomb site. Lex has it, but him and Flowsick, they're surrounded, and now they have a job to do.
Yep. But they still have a lot of time to work with, so it's smart for them to just try to hold it back to see if OpTic Gaming is going to say, all right, we got 3 kills actually. We got AKs that we could salvage. Let's try to see if we can catch them off guard. But no, they're all going to play it very passively. OpTic Gaming are going to play for the retake, and they're actually going to flash themselves out to peek out, and that's going to be Lex trying to spot it out. Gets the first one here. Peeking out, spots the last 2, so Flowsick has at least some information, and that's his advantage. Because OpTic Gaming has no idea where he's at, but Shazam comes in for the headshot, and they get ecoed. And not only that, without armor. So going back to the 1.6 Godfrag days, this is an eco Cobra hiss.
Oh, Lord. Van Silly. Well done.
Got to bring those cool
Well
guys
done.
back
Way
from
to
time
dust things
time.
off here.
You know.
You relic. I mean, this is just these
Actually, it's relics of enemy.
anti-ecos from Winterfox. They got away with one earlier in this half, and once again, it just looked so shaky there.
Yep.
And they just get punished. And they had control of this match. They had it in the situation where OpTic Gaming was going to have to save, maybe even double save, considering how much money 2 of their members have. And now they've just given it right back up. I mean, they were doing such a good job keeping it off out of Shazam's hand, keeping the money tenuous on the CT side, and to give it away there, this is that round. It's one of those heartbreak rounds that they're going to look back on. If they can't win out this match somehow, they're going to look back and say, man, losing that eco really blew it for us.
Oh, yeah. Now the tables have turned. You see Winterfox with the deagles across the board, except for Desi that has added small armor as well, but they cannot get the opener. It's going to be Nafly getting the first one, looking for some more, as we have a couple of guys at short. They are spotted. Daft's also setting up the crossfire, getting the kill from the inside the A bomb side, and they're just getting depicted one by one. Finally, Desi gets one here, but he's going to be the last man standing. Of course, they're going to converge against him. They know where he's at, and it's going to be 12-11. They wanted to try, to get the eco back, but it didn't work.
I do want to say on that eco around that OpTic just won with the PT-50s, no armor. That was really well executed because they actually lose 2 members over at B. They do 1-for-2 trade. They kill 1 member of Winterfox. They lose 2 at the B bomb site. So Rush was the only one left. And there was actually 1 member coming down the stairs, and they were pinching that short sewers, and the 2 members of Winterfox who were there had their backs turned. Rush got 2 free kills there. So it was really, really nicely done for them to really make that aggressive play.
Well, Daft's doing the same thing here as the Winterfox did on the first half, is actually smoke out towards that monster to give him more control, to try to hold inside B in case there's going to be a push. But yes, Rush is already at 22 HP to start things off.
Well, Shazam has the AWP the first round. We've seen that as well, and he's got it over towards long. This time, he's got a very aggressive angle, just waiting for something. Looks like Winterfox. Oh, they go for a run boost. They flash and they try and run boost over to kind of launch a member. So Shazam, that would have been a difficult shot for him to hit even if he wasn't blind. So pretty creative. Once again, he's played on this spot a couple times. Very difficult. If you mistime it, it's very tough to fall back from. You get sandwiched from 2 locations, but Winterfox being very methodical in how they're taking over sewers. There's a B push. Flowsick. Finally, his patience outside that B bomb site pays off. So as you mentioned, Rush at 22, and Stanislaus now fallen for OpTic Gaming.
Is an advantage for Winterfox to keep OpTic Gaming guessing. They cannot lose this fight against Shazam if they're going to try to get some information inside A. But Shazam is well positioned as Anger peeks out. Makes it a 4 versus 4 and forced to fall back inside the side. Not sure why Anger tried to go for a peek without any flashes coming in from his team. But now Nafly has better positioning up at short as well. And he might be able to catch Desi. Indeed he will. Just from the jump, making a lot of noise, and again, that's a small mistake that is very costly
Well, I mean,
for Winterfox.
yeah, and there's another one. This is 3 kills, and now they go the way of OpTic Gaming, and there's no chance for return kills on the Winterfox side. Just losing members, just getting whittled down. Finally, Naf, he gets over the aggressive. Flowsick, not aware. Rush does take a shot. Now he's giving up his spot. Flowsick wins that, but he's brought very low. Shazam with this op. Actually, the round's over.
No,
Time's
yeah,
gonna run
no
out.
time.
I mean, that's incredible. It's really unfortunate for Winterfox with the man advantage. They give so much up, and then the remaining 3 members in a 3-on-3 are spread out across the map. They can't do anything. They can't meet up. So another round kind of just whittles away for Winterfox there.
Yeah, no,
Fizzles out.
Fizzles out. And I was watching Winterfox as well when they were playing online. It seems as though they get caught a lot too on rotations with a knife in their hands, with a nade in their hands, and also not really set up as a team to move when they're going for these rotations. So that's 3 kills that are given away. They just got to change that a little bit more. Expect any pushes. Expect where the angles are coming from. But they're just trying to play a little bit too fast pace and just trying to pull that knife to try to save a few seconds. Does not come in their favor. At least they set up for a trade, but Shazam is playing long range as well to support Nafly. And it is going to be a 4 versus 3 in favor of OpTic Gaming, and this time Winterfox are just going to decide to go all out and move inside the A-bomb site rather quickly. Bomb is making his way towards long as well. Opshot coming through the wall, taking down his opponent down to 22 HP, but traded out or finished by Rush. So XP3 is going to be the last man standing. He's going to have to possibly try to save this for 1 minute and 6 seconds by also trying to get some exit kills. Or at least not some exit kills, but some kills against OpTic Gaming to try to hurt the economy, but that doesn't prevail for them, and it's going to be 14-11.
That's not going to happen, and now you see the money is just built up on the CT side. OpTic Gaming feeling very comfortable now, 14-11. So Winterfox once again backs against the wall. XP3 is going to bust out this T side ult. He's going to have to outduel Shazam. And really, they've just been setting up in this default round after round. They haven't gone for any kind of fast, convincing plays over towards the B bomb site. Really no B executes whatsoever. So OpTic Gaming, they're having no problem reading what's coming, at least initially in this matchup.
Well, Flowstick is going to try to play it a little bit more aggressively this round to try to get some information inside B, but again, OpTic Gaming are playing this very passively inside B. You don't have really guys pushing towards the sandbags trying to get some information there, or nobody really peeking towards long tunnels. They're just setting up for crossfires and angles to let the T's come to them, which is actually one of the smarter ways to play the CT side.
This could catch him off guard, though, because Shazam, he's switching things up as well. He's transitioned over his side of the bathrooms with the AWP. He's got Lux coming up the stairs. Looks like he wants to peek, but he hasn't quite committed to it yet. Oh, Shazam, the unscope. There's XP3, finds Naf. So Shazam, he's not watching long this time, and maybe at the detriment of his teammate. Now he's in a position where he can't really fall back, even if he gets a kill here. If Lex comes up those stairs, his retreat is basically blocked.
But you saw from the X-ray, the guys are running back too. They're going to try to set up inside this B-bomb site as Flowstick has gotten a little bit more coverage and angles by that short water side. But again, nobody really rotated from OpTic Gaming, so this could be a big turn of events for the counter-terrorist team.
Well, because even Shazam knows there's someone long, but he knows there's no one in bathrooms either. So he's like, guys, don't worry about it. Like, why would you guys come this way? And he could even cut off XP3. XP3's not going to be prepared for this whatsoever. He gets blindsided. Now it's got to be a B execute. It's got to happen quickly, but Molotov blocks off short.
Play.
And all 4 members are trying to go up this passageway, but the Molotov is stopping all of them. Now there's 3 members set up in a triangle of doom.
Yep. It was going to be a bloodbath, so they decide to run back. Now there's 15 seconds left on the clock. It's going to take them 7 as you saw it, but Shazam is still waiting there towards CT spawn, so they are scrambling right now for Winterfox. Make that 2. The bomb is down. Goes for it. Quick scope to take down Lex as well. And a quad kill on it to Flowstick to also get the ace, actually, against Winterfox. And
that round was all Shazam, 100%. The information he gathered when he was in bathrooms allowed him to stack the B bomb site.
Yeah.
Well, he gets XP3, and then Winterfox knows that Molotov just delayed so much time. They knew there was a stack there, so they had to fall back towards A, but they'd used all their utility on that B execute, but the Molotov prevents it from coming through. So then now they go back towards Shazam, and he's got an op, and they've got nothing to block him off. They have 1 smoke, and they have no clue where he's at, and it's just easy killing. He's got a smile on his face. He's feeling good right now. He's like, yep, I just wrecked him. All 5 kills for me. That's a highlight reel.
I'm on the Reddit thread. But at the same time, now we're going to have a tactical pause coming in here for Winterfox. Let's talk about that last round again. I think another big mistake that came in for Winterfox is that, yes, they did have a 1-man advantage, but the way that they were trying to circle back towards his B-bomb site, they had XP3 towards long area. But XP3 actually only had an op. He actually didn't have any utilities. I thought maybe you would want to use XP3 to try to throw some flashes or some smokes inside that A-bomb site to try to start that fake and then have the guys execute towards B, but all he had was the op in hand. He loses that fight against Shazam inside the washrooms. Now you're committed to work towards the B-bomb site, and they read them like a book for OpTic Gaming.
This is the thing. That's why I said Shazam. That round was 100% him. Not only the kills, but just... XP3 was throwing flashes towards that A-bomb site to have some pressure put on her, the illusion of pressure, but since Shazam is pushed up in bathrooms, These guys, it's only one here at A. Just chill. Just
Yeah.
all three of you stay at B. I got this. And then Shazam, I mean, he just blindsides XP3, and then he just wins everything out in the end. So it was really, really nicely done from Shazam that round to gather all that information and then obviously getting all 5 kills.
And we talked about how calm, cool, and collected OpTic Gaming are as well playing the CT side. Nobody really over-rotating as well to support teammates because they actually have confidence themselves that even if there's only one player holding a site or one player holding an angle, he could actually get 2 kills and give a chance for his teammates to
Or
come
5.
back on or 5 as well.
Why not?
To come back on the retake and overtake the site. That's why you actually saw nobody rotate out from that lower B side at Monster side as well, and it was actually a deadly crossfire setup. The mollies are being thrown as well from OG. Nothing could have been done there for Winterfox, unfortunately.
Let's just talk about how Winterfox hasn't won a round since they got eco'd. It's been 5 straight for OpTic Gaming. They haven't even really gotten close.
Yeah.
Just been a smackdown. So, I mean, we've seen this is like the second stretch of this match now. First, in the first half, it was, 4-0 for Winterfox, and then OpTic Gaming rattled off 7 straight. Now OpTic Gaming grabs this lead, and they just don't let go, and they're running away with so many rounds in a row. Winterfox hasn't been able to match these strings of 7 in the first half. It's 5 at the moment, and now they're on match point. 15-11. Winterfox has got to win 4 straight if they want to force overtime. And coming into this round,
It's crucial.
it's a very weak buy. 3 Galils,
Exactly.
1 Tech 9. I mean, they've got some utility because of the Tech 9 and the Galil, but only XP3 has an AK-47.
That tactical pause was to figure out who had the most money and try to buy those nades, and that's going to be Flowsick. 2 flashes, a smoke, and a molly. What can they do with this? So yeah, he's going to have the Tech 9 at the same time as well, but he's really the only one with anger that could actually help him with the openings to try to execute here.
They've switched up their default as well. This time they're sending 3 people up the stairs, kind of taking a different route towards the bathrooms, but they don't find anything. And OpTic Gaming is just like, they've been so passive throughout these rounds. There's no reason for us to get aggressive downstairs, no reason for us to mix up our defense that's working. Why get aggressive into their passive setups and just give away some free kills? But Daps is rotated back towards B. Naf is pushed up towards long. Him and Shazam are kind of doubled up here. And Winterfox has slowly creeped up, grabbed control of bathrooms, but now look, they fall back, they're all spread out. Desi's going to be the only one towards long, XP3 the only one towards highway, and everyone else is towards B, so still, they can't do anything if they find some kind of advantage that they want.
It's still pretty slow so far with a stack for OpTic Gaming towards this A bomb site. One guy up all the way up towards the flower pot at long, but 2 guys holding inside the site. But
This is the thing, right? They have this spread out default going on, but no one's being aggressive. No one's probing for intel. They have no clue what's coming, so they try and flash through a smoke. Flowsick somehow wins that fight. He does get dinked, but now Rush, big job to do. You get 2 kills. Very nicely done. Stays alive as well. Can't get the third. He's got to reload. He eventually falls. 3 on 3. XP3 is going to go for a flank, but he's been spotted out. He's low. He
Oh
falls.
my God.
And it just all crumbles for Winterfox.
And now Desi is the last man standing. 3 versus 1. Spotted, gets it. 2 versus 1. Knows where the last one is, but it's going to be Shazam ending it with a deagle. 16-11, our final score for OpTic Gaming, winning this over Winterfox.
Yeah, very nice
Heartbreaking.
CT side. Yeah, well, I mean, it's just that's kind of what the story of this whole half was. Is that very passive default setup for Winterfox. You're not losing anyone, but you're not gaining information, so it's very difficult to make that convincing mid-round call when you're not probing these bomb sites. A lot of times they get spread out, so they couldn't really be in a position to trade kills if they're trying to clear out bathrooms. It's opening up a lot of opportunities to get picked off by Shazam's ops, so they had to be very cautious of that. And that's the thing. They've done such a good job of controlling the economy, and then once they lose that eco round, once Shazam can afford the op over and over again, even if he dies, then they have to be so wary of where they go alone. They have to be so scared of that AWP. So once again, it's just more denying of information. You could see once they lost that eco, Shazam's op just controlled the map from there on out.
Well, also, I got to say that it's heartbreaking for Winterfox's side because when you're looking at the first half, they won the pistol. They won 4 rounds in a row. You mentioned it. As soon as they lost the first round, they had no economy to work with. They lose 7 rounds in a row. Now you're looking back at the second half. Winterfox lost the pistol round. They lost the second round, but they won the third, I think. And then it was going back and forth between the 2 teams. The advantage of that was that they actually kept an op out of the hands of Shazam. Yeah. But then as soon as Shazam had the AWP, that's where you saw them getting wrecked. Yeah. That ace came in, but that was a lot later into the half. But overall, as soon as they had that op in the hands of Shazam, they had a lot less to work with inside A. They couldn't get anything done.
Well, they didn't really try. They didn't really probe or get aggressive or anything like that. It was just very far back, and then they just fall into an A or B execute. But either way, really nice adjustments by OpTic to regain control of each half when they lost control of it.
Yeah.
So really good stuff from them. Looking forward to seeing them play more in this tournament.
Definitely. Let's see how we could actually break it down even more as we actually have Sir Scoots, Richard Lewis, and Blue at the analyst desk. And this is going to be Van Silly Moses signing off there. Go ahead, boys. I did the Asian thing.
Well, I mean, they
He doesn't care, does he?
Wow, he's hanging out with us way too long already. They've already analyzed it. There's not really much to say, so I think we're done. Thanks, Van Silly, for doing our job. Appreciate it, bro.
Cheers, dude.
But you made some very solid points. When OpTic got down, but they did the right stuff and they got back in the game. They did not start strong. You know, it's always nice to sit with an owner. We were sitting with Hector, and nice to see a nervous owner once in a while. You know, I used to be one of those, and he was definitely very nervous at the start, especially after those.
I think
first
whenever
rounds.
owners are sat around near me, they're pretty nervous anyway. The best of times,
all
right?
sorts
Like,
of reasons.
Oh, what's that? You got a deal going on of it? No.
Yeah.
So, look, I'll let Blue go because he was furiously making notes, and I know there was a few things you observed, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, starting it off, actually, I was quite surprised with how well Winterfox were able to do just starting this off, and even coming towards the end of that half. We were looking at, I believe it was a 7-8 half as we came to the close of that. I was not expecting that. I was expecting OpTic to be leading like 6-9, 10-5, somewhere around there, and we saw it go much closer. A good site defense starting things right off there from the side of Winterfox. That eventually ended up getting beat up by OpTic, but Winterfox was able to read exactly what their problem was, and that was that OpTic just started playing things very, very slowly. Winterfox then took a different path, started to abuse that later on in the half, and we never saw OpTic adjust for that, so they were able to bounce back very nicely, keep things really tight-knit heading into that second half.
There were three key moments in the game for me that really leapt out. So the first is in the first half. I think it was when they were 4-0 up. And Winterfox, that is, and then OpTic, they got that first round, they got that second round, it goes to 4-2, and then they do this strange 5 deagle buy on the CT side.
Bring that up. Yeah.
Now, I don't like the 5 deagle buy, especially given that their economy was so far behind. If they lost that, it meant they had to do a mix buy, and that was 2 Famises. So they didn't marshal their economy well. It was a gamble that didn't pay off on the CT. And actually, although they had a relatively decent CT half, Winterfox, they gave up 3 or 4 rounds off the back of losing that 5 deagle buy. So you're like, okay, that happens. Second half, just when OpTic look like they're going to run away with it, they do a 5 deagle buy. And I'm sat in the room feeling smug, going, well, we all know how this is going to go. Yeah. History's going to repeat itself. They win that one, and that gets them right back into it. And then you're like, actually, Winterfox could win this. Then they get eco'd.
Yes.
Right? And the eco is the killer, because after that, I don't think they won another round. So 3 rounds, ultimately, that kind of had them out of the game, had them back in the game, but getting eco'd in that situation by OpTic, that's a killer, and it just sucked all the life out of them, and that was enough for OpTic to run away with
The
it.
problem for me still with Winterfox is that their T side, like they're extremely polarized. They're one of the few teams in North America that you can actually say like their CT side is like miles better than their T side.
Oh, yeah.
But the problem is their T side is just so much weaker. It just looks so unorganized every time you watch it that they have to get such a huge lead on that CT side to start off to even have a chance of winning a match.
And nothing wrong with that if you can do it. I mean, there's a lot
Yeah.
of teams that have, I mean, the original Fnatic, when they rose to prominence, they did it on ridiculous CT rounds. Their T was a little bit erratic, actually.
Yeah.
They didn't post big numbers, but a CT was just godlike. So you can do it, but they're not godlike on CT,
Yeah.
and their terrorist side is terrible.
And yeah, and they're trying to bring the complexity deagles of old back from
Not gonna
1.6.
happen.
That I don't know, the different deagle, different time frame. But anyway, like we talked about with Enemy, no matter what, OpTic secures top 4, so that means their road to the major still is alive even if they lose their next match, because they will at least be invited to the last chance qualifier to then be able to come back here for one more shot at it. So they got to be feeling pretty good. OpTic, Hex is actually here. He's feeling pretty good about it. To give you a little bit more detail about how the players are feeling about it, we've marshaled the one, the only Shazam, and he this time is with Helium. Take it away, gentlemen.
All right, thank you guys. I'm here with Shazam from OpTic Gaming. You just played, I guess you're technically 2-0, but this is the first match you actually had to play. You got a bit lucky yesterday. You played against Winterfox. How did you feel about that match?
I mean, we definitely came in a little cold, both physically and like mentally. So we lost pistol, we lost the first gun round, but we managed to like put like a string of like almost 7 rounds or something like that
It was 7 in a row.
which is like really good for our Overpass T side. We actually came into the tournament thinking that we were just gonna veto to one map, and then we realized when we got here, it's the randomizer. So we didn't expect to play Overpass, honestly. Our T side was really good, and we weren't sure about our Overpass CT side because we just reworked it after like playing the last ESL finals. So turns out, like, I mean, there are definitely some things we could have changed, but worked out pretty well in the end.
Yeah, it was pretty close throughout. You kind of put the pedal to the metal there at the end in the second half. But I'm wondering about you guys' mental state. Obviously, you were at the Turner League in Vegas. You traveled there. You traveled from there to here. How are you guys doing as a team holding up, playing a lot of games, traveling around?
Yeah, I mean, we came off like a really big one at Vegas, getting into the Turner League. I mean, also just signing with a brand like OpTic was huge. It's a big motivator. But as soon as we got back from Vegas, we got back on the practice grind. We're practicing every day. Everyone's got like great work ethic coming into this. I mean, this is the first time we're coming into a tournament as favorites. I mean, well, most people would consider us favorites, and so we just don't want to disappoint. Like, we're not underestimating anyone.
And I want to know, it's hard to get these stats when you're in the game yourself, but Stan had at least 7 first kills. How easy is it to play with a player like Stan when he can put your team in such a good position in so many rounds?
Actually, like recently, we had like a mix-up of roles, and recently put Stan into the entry fragger role. He's like, listen, I think I'd be really good at this, and it turned out amazing. Like, Stan's just like such a good, well-rounded, like fundamental player, so you can count on him to do his job and do it amazingly.
Yeah, and you actually did win the majority of the rounds where he found the first kill, so you guys, as teammates, helping him out in that role. And you with the op, you had some pretty flashy rounds there, even having an ace there towards the end.
Yeah, it took me a little while to get like the op in my hand. Our economy game was pretty bad, like losing pistol and then the gun rounds and the force buys. But as soon as I got an op in, like it's a lot easier to hold the A bomb site. It's like a long distance duel. Like when we didn't have ops, we lost A site most of the time because you let them in, you can't really peek it because they might be posted with an op. But it got a lot easier.
All right, and just a few more. I'm curious, you've now had 3 games under the OpTic Gaming banner. You've gone undefeated. You're 3-0. You're winning a lot of money real quick. How's the organization? How are they treating you?
I mean, the organization's amazing, but the biggest thing is the fans. The fans are insane. Like, it reminds me of like sports fans. They're so loyal. It's like crazy support. We love it. It motivates us, and can't wait to show them that we're worth it.
All right, so I think you get a break today. You guys have anything else planned for the day? Going to chill out?
Probably gonna get some food, chill, watch this match because we play the winner of this, I believe. So I mean, we can't underestimate anyone. So, Jesus. Okay, so we'll prepare.
All right, nice. I'll let you off. Just one more thing before you go. Let's give a. You got any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out to Astros, Scuff, Loot Crate, and Gymshark. Thanks.
All right, guys. So that's it. Once again, give it up for OpTic in the chat. So there's some green wall spam that you can work in there. When we get back here at the MLG minor qualifiers for the Americas, we're going to have the rematch between Leader 1 and Splice, which had some drama going yesterday. It's a best of 3, so come back for that. We'll see you after a short break.